How can a market disappear for 7 whole days and then come back as if nothing happened? In Okush, everyone feared the market. It wasn't like other markets where you buy pepper, yam, clothes, fresh fish, and gossip with neighbors. No, this one behaved like something alive. During the day, it looked normal. Women shouting prices, men grinding pepper, children running between stores, goats even walking around like they were paying tax too. But 7 days in every month, the air around the market changed. People say they would feel it in their skin, like cold finger touching their arms. Even the wind stopped blowing whenever that time came. And then it always happened. A strange golden light started rising from the ground, first small, then brighter, then so bright you have to cover your eyes. No one dared to watch it fully. Those who tried said it felt like something was trying to pull them inside the light. Children were dragged home early. Traders packed up so fast you'd think someone shouted free food on the other side of the village. Everyone locked themselves inside as the glow swallowed the whole place. By morning, the entire market have disappeared. No stores, no baskets, no people, no sand, just empty ground. Every single month, the elders warned, if you enter the place within these 7 days, you will die and your family will suffer sickness till the gods take pity. Nobody argued with that. Too many stories have already been told. Stories of people who wandered close and never returned. But despite all the fear, the market still called to some people. It has a strange pull, like it had a voice inside it whispering your name. And Titus heard that voice louder than anyone. Titus grew up with more money than most people in his village would ever see in their lifetime. His parents were respected traders, quiet, disciplined, the type who built wealth slowly and silently. But Titus was nothing like them. From his early 20s, he carried himself with the arrogance of someone who believed the world has been laid at his feet. He bullied market boys for fun, shouted down elders who corrected him, and walked around like a storm that everyone needed to avoid. He and his parents never saw eye to eye on anything. They warned him, pleaded with him, tried to guide him, but Titus lived wide, spending money with a recklessness that made the villagers whisper behind closed doors. When his parents died suddenly, the village was shaking, but Titus' behavior caused an even bigger gossip. Before everyone could blink, he had hurriedly buried them with no community attendance, no extended family, no rights, just silence. The villagers never said it openly, but their eyes said enough. Titus knew more than he was saying. He inherited everything: land, houses, farmland, livestock, a well-run business, an unimaginable fortune. But he, Titus, he wasted every drop of it, drowning in Papa Umuskoro's beer parlor. He normally traveled to far-off villages, chasing women, partying until sunrise, spending like a prince who believed his kingdom would never fall. But as we all know, money runs fast, especially when you are always spending. So the estate went first, then the livestock, then the farmland. One by one, everything disappeared into his carelessness until he knew only poverty. Now, Titus lived in a semi-abandoned hut at the edge of the old market road, a share of a man he used to be. He wakes up angry, goes to bed frustrated, and spends his day pretending he still has power. The bully in him is still alive, but without money, it has no teeth. People walk past him freely now, some with pity, some with satisfaction. People mock him all the time, but every month, when the market started glowing, something inside him woke up one evening as the skies darkened and people were rushing home. Titus sat outside his hut with a bowl of leftover gari. He looked at the market as the gold light appeared before him. He didn't fear. He felt curious, a dangerous curiosity. He stood up, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. Why should I fear it? He whispered. I have nothing to lose. My life is finished anyway. The glow grew brighter and brighter, painting the trees, the ground, and even his skin with gold. Then something unexpected happened. The light bent, shifted, and opened. Right there, beneath the center of the market, a tunnel appeared, a long, deep tunnel crawling into the earth like the mouth of a giant snake. Cold hair pushed out of it, dark, sharp, carrying a strange smell, like mental mixed with dust and something he couldn't name. Titus froze. His heart pounded hard. His leg felt weak. The tunnel looked like something built for spirit, not humans, but something inside him whispered, go. And Titus followed that whisper. One step, another step, then another. He entered the tunnel. At first, he bent low. The walls were rough and cold. His finger brushed the sides. The deeper he went, the more the air changed. He could hear faint sound like distant murmurs, as if many people were talking underground. The tunnel opened into a wide place, and Titus stopped breathing for a moment. He didn't know where he was. All he knew was this was not the normal market. People in this market were walking upside down. Their legs were in the air, their heads touching the ground, and they moved like as if it was a normal thing. Their faces were very, very scary. Titus pressed himself against the wall, his whole body shaking. He whispered, What is this place? No one looked at him. No one noticed him. They were very busy, buying, selling, exchanging strange items. They were jewelry, gold, bracelets, stones that glowed, clothes that changed colors by themselves. Mouths slightly open as he watched the strange people, heads planted on the ground, legs in the air, moving around as if everything was normal. He wanted to scream. He wanted to run. Titus swallowed. So this is the market. This is the truth behind the disappearing of the market. His heart beat loud, but nobody seemed to notice him. They walked past him like he wasn't even there. At the far end of the market, he saw something else, a huge pile of items, gold, beads, anklets, earrings, clothes, carvings, and jewelries, piled other than 3 men, and nobody was guiding him. Titus whispered to himself, if I quietly take this treasure, no one will notice, but fear hid him back. He turned and ran out of the tunnel, breathing fast like someone chased by spirits. The bright flash swallowed him again and threw him back to the empty market square. Titus looked around, shocked he wasn't dead. He whispered, so, why didn't they catch me? Why didn't they kill me? He didn't sleep that night. His heart refused to rest. He said to himself, I have seen a road to change my life. That night, Titus lay on his mat, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the upside-down people, the glowing jewelries, the piles of gold no one was guiding. He kept whispering to himself, I saw it, I truly saw it, and nobody saw me. His heart beat fast with excitement. If he told anyone, they would call him mad. If he told the elders, they would stone him for entering the forbidden place. So he told no one. The next night, when the market disappeared again, Titus returned to the tunnel. He wanted to understand this strange word first. As soon as he stepped inside, he felt that cold hair again, brushing his skin like something alive. The deeper he walked, the louder the murmuring became. It sounded like a whole world was living under the ground. When he entered the market again, the upside-down traders were already moving around. Their heads touched the floor, their legs kicking gently in the air as they slid from one store to another. Titus' stomach tightened with fear, but he forced himself to stay calm. He whispered, you can't be afraid. You want a better life, right? Then you have to wash. You have to learn. He hid himself behind a long table covered with beads that looked like tiny stars. He watched the way they moved, how they bent, how they reached for things. He noticed something important. All of them were balancing on their heads. No one stood upright like a human. Anyone walking with their legs would stand out immediately. Titus swallowed hard. If he ever wanted to take anything from this market, he would have to learn their way. That night, when he returned home, he did something that made even he himself laughed. Afterward, he stood in the middle of his hut and tried to stand on his head. He fell down so hard that he bumped into his new water pot. He scratched his elbow. His head felt like it was about to break, but he kept trying. Every night, when no one was watching, Titus practiced. Some nights he cried out in pain. Some nights he landed on his back so hard that breath left his chest. Some nights he almost gave up. But greed is a strong teacher. One night he finally balanced, just for a few seconds. But it happened. He gasped, I did it. I did it. After that, he practiced every day, morning, night, whenever he had strength. The villagers started noticing his strange behavior. People would see him through his small window, upside down, legs in the air, shaking and sweating. A woman passed one day and whispered, God save us, oh, it's Titus practicing witchcraft. But Titus didn't care. He kept practicing until he could stay on his head long enough to move one step, then two, then three. The next month, when the market disappeared again, Titus entered the tunnel with confidence. His heart raced as he stepped into the glowing underground world. The upside-down trader filled the space with quiet movement. The gold pies sparkled brighter than before. No one looked at him. Titus placed his hand on the ground, held his breath, and lifted his leg. He balanced his whole weight on his head. Then he took one step, then another. No one noticed him. He laughed quietly to himself. I am inside, and they think I am one of them. He moved deeper into the market, his head aching from the pressure. He saw bracelets made of red stones, necklaces shining like fires, small boxes carved with symbols he couldn't read. He picked a small bracelet first, just one. He hid it inside his shirt and carefully made his way back through the tunnel. When he reached home, he unwrapped the bracelets in the moonlight. Gold. Pure gold. Not the kind people sold in the village. This one shone like he carried his own light inside. Titus woke up this next morning and almost screamed. The whole wooden table in his hut, the same table that once had nothing but dust and broken calabash bowls, was now filled with gold bracelets, carries, shiny stones, and heavy bags of coin. He rubbed his eyes once, twice, 3 times. Is this real? It has multiplied, he whispered, touching the coin like he expected them to disappear. But they didn't disappear. They were real. For the first time in years, Titus felt something rise inside him. Power. The same power he used to have when his parents were alive. The same pride that scattered his inheritance. The same wickedness that made the villagers fear him. A slow smile crawled across his face. So I am back. He didn't waste time. He gathered the money into a sack, bathed properly for the first time in days, wore his only neat clothes, and walked into the village square like a king returning from war. The villagers froze. Mothers whispered. Men frowned. One woman asked a neighbor, "Is that not Titus? How did he shine like this overnight?" Another replied, "Maybe his wickedness have ripened again." But no one spoke to him. Titus loved it. He walked straight to the palm wine joint and dropped money on the table. Pour it, the strongest you have. The tie pass, hand shook. Titus, you have money again? Titus leaned close. Are you blind? Pour it before I change my mind. Within days, the news spread across all the neighboring village. Titus is rich again, and with the money came his own behavior. Like he owned the dust on the ground. He insulted elders openly. He insulted men in front of their wives. He pushed people out of his way. Then the worst part began. Titus started chasing other people's wives, not secretly, openly. One evening, he walked up to a man named Ojo and said, "Your wife, she is now my friend." Ojo caps, "My friend." Titus, respect yourself. Titus laughed loudly. Respect? You are saying that to me? Look at you, poor like a wet chicken. If your wife wants a better life, who are you to stop her? People were shocked, but Titus did not care. He was drunk with power like before. He used money to scatter families. He used money to intimidate husbands. He brought fine wrappers for married women and told them, "If your husband cannot buy it, I can." Some resisted, some didn't, and Titus loved every bit of the fear he caused. But every night, when the moon rose, when the village became quiet, he sneaked behind his hut and practiced walking on his head over and over again, because he knew the truth. His riches came from the shadow market, and if the market opened again, he must be ready to enter like one of them. One night he whispered to himself, "As long as that market appears again, I will become the richest man this land has ever seen." And he continued, balancing his head on the ground, moving his hands, lifting his legs, determined, obsessed, blind to the danger, because Titus didn't know that the shadow market was watching him. Years pass, and the shadow market will appear and disappear like a stubborn spirit. One bright flash of light, and the whole market will vanish for 7 days. Another flash of light, and it will return like nothing happened. Titus knew the signs, and he mastered the timing of everything. He waited in the same place, the same spot, every night, until one fateful day, when Titus sat patiently, and nothing happened. The first day passed, no sign of the market. The second day, no sign of the market. Till the 7th day, nothing. For the first time in years, the shadow market refused to return. Titus began to panic. At first, Titus told himself, maybe it is only late. But the next week came, and the next, and still nothing. A full month passed, then 2, then 3. Titus began to panic. Without fresh money from the market, his whole habit started eating the money he stole. The drinking, the showing off, the buying of clothes for women, the throwing money on the ground to insult men. Slowly, his power began to slip from his finger. You could see it in his eyes, in the way he snapped at people, in the way he counted his coins angrily every night. One of the women he took from another man gave birth to a baby girl. At first, Titus was proud. He told the village he would raise the girl like a princess, but 3 months later he couldn't even buy salt. The baby cried from hunger from morning till night. The mother whispered, "Titus, I don't think you have money again." Titus shouted at her, "Shut up! Do you know who you are talking to?" But deep in his heart, he knew she was right. He was becoming poor again fast, and the whole village was watching him fall. His anger became desperation. His desperation became fear. His fear turned into madness. 1 year later, the market still did not appear. Titus' hands began to shake. He began selling his goods. But what truly broke him was when he checked his secret hiding place and saw only one gold. One left from the shadow market. Only one. That night he could not sleep. He walked around the village like a madman. He held the gold bit in his hand like a child, only the last piece of food. Titus was almost a beggar. One day, as he was passing by, he heard when someone whispered, "There is a wise man in the next village. He understands things that ordinary eyes cannot see." Titus did not even think twice. Early the next morning, he walked to that village. The wise man lived in a compound behind the market square. His house was not fancy, his clothes were plain, but his eyes looked like he had seen too many things in this world. When Titus entered, the man did not even ask who he was. He simply said, "You have been standing beside a forbidden place for too long. Now the place has closed itself against you." Titus froze. "How do you know?" he asked. The wise man laughed. "The people in the market," he said slowly, "they are not humans like you. They are an ancient tribe. They sleep when their power runs low." Titus leaned forward. "And why did he sleep?" The man stared at him unblinking. "Because someone," he tapped his staff on the ground, "stole their riches." Titus' voice hooked. "Then wake them. Wake them for me. I need the market back. My life is finished without it." The wise man looked at him like someone looking at a stubborn child. To wake them is dangerous. The price is too high. Titus stepped closer. "What is the price?" The man fell silent. "A newborn child." Titus stepped back. "What?" The man nodded. "A sacrifice at the abandoned river near the market ground. Only that one will wake them." Titus whispered, "Impossible." The wise man sighed. "I am warning you. Forget the market. Forget the riches. If you wake them wrongly, the land will shake. The eyes of the ancient ones will open against you." Titus was no longer listening. All he heard was one sentence: "The market can return." When Titus returned home, his wife had just given birth to their daughter. The baby was beautiful, too beautiful for the kind of man Titus was becoming, but Titus did not see beauty. Mother, he told her that the wise man needed to bless the baby. The mother, trusting him, handed the baby over to him. Titus carried the baby and handed the baby over to the wise man. "Wake them," Titus said coldly. "Do it." The wise man shook his head. "I told you to forget it, didn't I?" "I can't," Titus screamed. "I can't. Let us do it. Let us go to the river." The wise man hurried and went ahead of Titus. Titus carried the baby behind him. When Titus reached the river, the wise man was already there. He handed Titus a small bowl filled with powder. "Bath in the river. After that, walk home naked. Make sure you walk through the forest paths. Let no one see you. When you reach near your house, wear your clothes. Then you will see the market return." Titus asked, "And the child?" The old man pointed to the water. He couldn't speak. Titus knew what he wanted for him. He hesitated only for one breath, just one. Then he placed the child into the river. The baby cries filled the forest as Titus turned his back to it. The mother, hiding behind a tree, having secretly followed him, covered her mouth and fell to her knees in silent agony. And no one, not even the wise man, knew she had seen everything. Titus bathed in the river, cold, shivering, frantic. Then he walked through the forest path naked, just as the wise man had instructed him. Branches scratched his skin, ants crawled on him. His pride was gone. His mind was wide, but he didn't care. When he reached near his hut, he wore his clothes quickly and whispered, "Return to me my market." And he waited. Hours passed. Then a distant sound, a faint glow, a trembling in the ground. The market was returning. Titus laughed like a madman. "Yes, I did it again." But he didn't know, because the child mother saw him. A curse has been triggered. A curse even older than the village itself. up and still laughing like a madman. It is back, it is back, he shouted to himself. He rubbed more of the powder on his arm and face. He adjusted his clothes. He made sure he was ready. He did not even greet his wife. He did not check on the remaining children. He only had one plan: enter, steal, and return rich. As he ran towards the light, his wife watched from behind their hut, holding her wrapper tight on her chest, tears burning her eyes. She whispered, "Let the truth follow you. Let the truth reveal you." Titus forgot something important. As he ran like a madman towards the market, he forgot the one skill that once saved him. He forgot to practice walking on his head. In the rush, in the greed, in the excitement, he ran straight into the shadow market with his leg boldly walking forward. No flipping, no acting, no disguise. The powder made him confident. Inside the market, everything looked the same yet different. People were still upside down. They were already standing at their store. Strange goods glowed in baskets. Jar floated in the air. At first, nobody noticed him. Titus smiled proudly. He walked. "I knew it." He stepped deeper into the market, even touching some of the jewelry on display. He whispered to himself, "I am back." But then something shifted. A woman with her head under her waist looked at Titus again. This time she didn't look away. She stared. Her eyes narrowed. She sniffed the air like she could smell the powder. Then she shouted, "Wait!" Looking on his legs. Everybody stopped. One by one, every ancient in the market turned. The floating jar dropped to the floor. The silent hum of the market vanished. Titus froze, his heart pounding on his throat. A tall ancient man, now standing on his legs, stepped forward, his voice deep and angry. "You again?" Titus tried to smile. "Please, I only came to..." "You stole from us for years. You used our sleep for your greed, and now you took a soul to force us to wake." Titus trembled. He stepped back. The ancient leader motioned with his hand. 4 ancients grabbed Titus roughly and dragged him to the center of the market. He screamed, "No, I brought the sacrifice. I woke you up. You should reward me." The ancient man laughed, a laugh that sounded like thunder inside a calabash. "Fool, you woke us, but not by honor. You forced a pure soul into the path not meant for her. You shook our word. You broke the rule. Your greed is bigger than your body, so let your body show it." They brought out a clay pot filled with dark liquid, moving with smoke inside it. It wasn't liquid, it wasn't fire. It was like shadow breathing. Before Titus could run, they slammed the pot mat against his stomach. The smoke flowed into him like a living thing. Titus screamed so loudly, the whole market shook. His belly rose, then rose again, then keep rising. See, it looked like a huge rotten yam pushing out of his body. The ancient leader spoke. "Go back. Let your village see the stomach of the man who stole his future." They threw him out of the market. The bright light swallowed the place, and the shadow market disappeared again, never to be seen. Titus landed on the ground outside, groaning like a dying cow. His stomach was huge, hot, heavy, and smelly. It was smelling like something already dead. Villagers gathered around him in fear. "Who is this? Is this not Titus? His stomach, is it rotting?" The elders came. They looked at Titus and shook their heads slowly. "So you were the thief all along." Women shouted, "You made us poor. You took our wealth. You even took our daughters. You fooled us with your stolen goods." Titus cried, "I only want a better life for myself." But his stomach kept swelling. The skin on it began to turn dark, then green, then soft. Then it started leaking horrid, both liquid. Flies gathered. Children ran away screaming. His wife stepped forward, shaking with anger and pain. She shouted, "You sacrificed your child for gold, our child, our beautiful daughter. You use your own daughter to wake spirit. Look at you now. Look at what greed has done." Titus tried to speak, but the swelling pushed his breath away. He confessed everything, and before the next sunrise, he died. Moral of the story: greed will always expose a man in the end. A blessing taken the wrong way becomes a curse. A man who steals from others steals his own future.